First of all, citizens, when you see him, he's transformed. Mm-hmm. He looks 10 to 15 years younger.
Dead ass.
Haven't seen you in a minute, and you look chiseled right now. Yeah. What happened, D?
You heard me on there saying we all know what we need to do. We're just not willing to do it. And I always talk about these setting goals. But, for about 6 years, I went through a couple. I mean, people go through, life happens. I went through cancer and just had a baby. And, when you have a baby, you're eating everything your wife's eating. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So a little pandemic, a couple of things happened. And but I lost the pounds. I stopped drinking.
Stop drinking.
You
hear that, Heather?
Main thing.
That's Daymond.
I'm
the happy hour.
When you reevaluate yourself, the devil doesn't slip in your life and just come and give you full temptation. The devil goes something like, "Now you can have that one drink. It ain't gonna bother. Then this, and this." Mm-hmm. And when you make appointments, right? When we all say like we're going to Jamaica, we're like, man, soon we land, I'm gonna get that that pina colada with a double shot or whatever.
That's a
you
fact.
never let yourself down when you saying that. Mm-hmm. But when you say you're gonna get your ass up to the gym, you let yourself down a lot. So when I stopped drinking, what I realized is every shot is 75 calories, empty calories, to slow down your metabolism. I go back to the hotel. I wake up in the morning. I think a goddamn dog got into the garbage because I ate the whole refrigerator. Yeah. And then I don't want to work out in the morning. And instead of something healthy to eat, I want to pastrami. I just had a pastrami and cheese. But, I want something healthy. I mean, I want something heavy. Mm-hmm. And it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. But when you stop, and I don't got nothing. I got no issue with anybody who drink, because many of us who are like road warriors. Yeah. Man, I had to go to 3 dinners a night, 2 with people I ain't like, 2 customers I ain't like, so I had to drink, and 1 I love, so I wanted to drink to remember what was going on. You know what I mean?
Yo, how do you parallel that philosophy to how you lost weight and how people fight temptations to how we spend money?
Well, because it's constantly taking new inventory. The biggest question I'm asked is time and work-life balance. And there's no one work-life balance. You have to take inventory every 2 months or 3 months. Mm-hmm. And what I started to do was, and it's time efficiency. So we were on this world of Zoom. Now people are prone to like, let's get on the Zoom. Well, I said, I'm not doing any Zoom. I'll do it audio, but I'm not doing any Zooms from 8 in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I take my little girl to school, and when I drop her off at school, I live in Miami, I walk 10 miles, but I do my calls. Mm-hmm. I just don't need to be on Zoom, right? And before I know it, I walk slow, chilling out. And before I know it, I put 10 miles. I put 30,000 steps on my my watch, and I'm doing the same thing though. I'm still making the same calls, it's just not on Zoom.
Yeah,
and you're getting the workout in.
Yeah, so you're adjusting efficiently, right? So if I know that I got flights and I know that I've slept enough, well, I'm not going to be doing emails or calls, during that. I'm going to do them on the flight, right? And then they're going to shoot out once I land, instead of taking that valuable time when maybe I can go home and cook something, or maybe I can work out, or maybe I can just spend time with my daughter and do the things that I can do physically, only certain things that I can do right there, and then I'll substitute the other stuff on a plane.
Daymond John is here, man. We're talking about Little Daymond Learns to Earn.
Yeah.
We did our weekly sway chats where people pitch us ideas, inventions, businesses, the whole nine. And Tracy came up with this cool idea.
Yeah, I was like, this is a rare occasion where we have the shark himself, a business mogul, to the max, Daymond John, and we're doing, not at all. You meet every expectation. And so we said, okay, Sway Chats is where we have our citizens pitch their business ideas, give us the full breakdown, details, premise, and the vision. And so we made this one a competition. Okay. And we actually have our winner, Janine, on the line.
All right.
To pitch her business straight to you, Daymond.
Janine, you ready? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much.
Are you nervous?
A little nervous, but I'm ready.
All right, Janine. How you doing? You ready to rock?
I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, I'm
All
ready.
right. Let's hear it.
So Zenwell Studio, a little bit about me. I am a nurse. I have a community health and public health background, and I primarily work with underserved populations, high risk and vulnerable populations in the D.C. area.
Thank you for that.
I recently branched off and decided to open up my own and start my own holistic health and wellness business. So I'm dedicated to providing an inclusive atmosphere or haven to provide our communities with the essential tools necessary to promote their healing of the mind, body, and soul. A lot of times what I've found in the clinical setting is that, especially in our community, in the African American community, we are faced with a lot of different comorbidities and chronic diseases that some others don't face. A lot of times we lack the knowledge and education on how to prevent and also manage and treat the rehabilitation of those chronic diseases, in addition to other different types of mental and emotional health well-being services.
Got it.
So I curate personal soul care sessions with my services such as health and wellness activation coaching, biometric screening, laser skincare, IV hydration, and somatic therapy for movement such as yoga and Pilates, sound healing, and guided meditation.
Got it. Okay. Yep. And what is the question? First of all, it sounds great.
Okay, that's what we wanted to kind of get
for sure.
You to ask the questions.
This is our little mini Shark Tank.
Well, what's the question? Because it sounds like
what do you think of her pitch?
Well, I don't know what the. I think it's great.
Okay.
Right. But I would need to know. You have it open already?
So I am open. I'm currently looking for actual physical space, but I do provide services virtually and also mobile concierge as well.
Well, it sounds great. I mean, we're at a time where it's not as much of a stigmatism about mental health, and thank God. And we all, the entire world has one common thing. We all went through something extremely and a little while ago. So that's great. And of course, chronic things such as high blood pressure, and heart disease and diabetes and all those things are rampant in our community because it's a financial challenge too. Because you see, the cheapest things in this country to sell are the most absorbed things. So the cheapest things to sell are sugar, butter, and salt, and those are the cheapest to sell. And so it costs more to eat healthy. Plus, our nutrition. When I grew up, there was 1,000 McDonald's, 1,000 Wendy's. There's 14,000 of all of those. So we have poor nutrition now. That starts really at the home, where kids love to cook with their parents. Especially when a 5-year-old and if a 5-year-old learned that they can cook some stuff with their parents, now you got 3 days of healthy leftovers. But we all know that exists. So you already have a problem that exists. How are you going to monetize serving that community and solving that problem?
And so that's where I'm at this point. I'm providing, educational services and collaborating with local businesses here in my area to kind of get the word out and increase some visibility and recognition for my business and the services I provide. Doing pop-up events. Also just networking with my friends, my current base, my current patients that I serve.
Well, I think here's the best way to do it. Ever since George Floyd, there's a lot of mandatory money going within companies to address some of these matters. And a local business has to obviously keep the lights on, but the national businesses who have a lot of money, they have a challenge too. They want their people to be healthy. Their people are not necessarily all going into the office, but they probably would benefit off of this service, saying, you know what, let me just add it as something additional to our family, our corporation, and let me and if you are a MBD, a minority certified vendor?
I'm currently in the process of doing that. Yep.
Yeah, so make sure you're that, because then you fit under women-owned as well as minority-owned, but just make sure no other partner has more than 10 or 15%, because if you do, then they need to get the financials to that other partner, all their business. And then I say you just go out and start pitching, and you might even do it now and just say, what do you think about this idea? Because when you ask people for their advice, what are they going to do? They're going to give you money. Oh, I'll give you money if you do this. And make them feel like it's their idea. Mm-hmm. All right?
Janine, congratulations.
Yes, Janine.
You are now officially a shark.
That's right.
All right, Janine.
She was always a shark. She's saving lives.
Okay. All right. So. Hey, congratulations, Janine. Keep us updated on the progress of your business. Say the name of it again.
Zenwell Studio.
Zenwell Studios.
$1
Love
million
this.
worth of game.
Congratulations.
All right.
Have a beautiful day. Daymond John is with us, and we're celebrating his book, Little Daymond Learns to Earn.
Number one book in the country.
In the country,
Get
man.
it.
America has spoken. We need financial intelligence and financial literacy for our children.
When
Yes.
does it start?
Well, about the book? Oh,
For,
so
for,
we're talking
for
about
your
the book.
kids.
Hold on.
Okay. We're about to talk about the book. Okay, he got the. What top hat is this, bro? This is like straight out of the
Magic
20s
world.
here, bro.
Yeah, man. You know,
Look
I
like
thought,
Houdini
I
over
thought,
there.
Thought it was Chauncey hat.
well, I throw in the top hat whenever I'm talking about this because the kids don't care about my $10,000 Tom Ford suits. So when I wow. But when I wear this hat on, you know, and I show and I talk to the kids, I get down just like a customer. I meet them where they're at, and they go, "Are you going to teach me magic?" Yeah. I'm going to show you how to disappear out of your parents' house by 21 years old. I'm going to show you how to turn $1 into $3. I'm going to show you how to make a lot of people appear around you, and you can hang out with whoever you want, whenever you want, because I'm going to teach you the fundamentals of success and or how to operate money when you're 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, so you don't take a $400,000 to $700,000 student debt loan of a career you're not even sure you want to have, and then end up paying that off by the time it's 60 years old and having financial challenges in your house where there is domestic violence and various other things because you bought into a system that's really 80 years old. When we were building ships for war, they were trying to teach you how to be a great employee. And so that's what I'm doing right now.
You say that to a 5-year-old?
Oh yeah, yeah. I just basically say I'm going to pull some things out of this hat that you're, and then they go, okay, what is it? And then I show them how to be almost like the Avengers, right? So I want you to think of the Avengers. You know, they were fighting Thanos, but the Avengers are your friends, and they're all going to get together, and you're going to all do things that you love and have a good time. You may get paid to do that, so you may get freedom, which is money. And money is something that can help you give to charitable organizations, take time off, buy the things you want for the people you love.
What's
They
the
love that.
first thing, like I'm talking to a 5-year-old, what's the first thing I introduce to them when it comes to finances?
You introduce the 1, 2, 3 method.
Okay.
So so by the way, this is about parents connecting with children.
Okay.
At a young age. You know, I've written, you know, thank God, with your help to execute them. I've written a lot of New York Times best-selling books, and a lot of parents, they may. I don't want to be an entrepreneur. I'm stuck in my ways. I'm too much in debt. I wish I would have known that. But a child is not like that.
Yeah.
A child's mind is open. I read Catcher in the Rye one time when I was in school. I said, why the hell did I read this? But a child, 5 to 10, they want you to read this every week, every month, right? So what's the first thing? The 1, 2, 3. So when $3 comes into any home, anybody's hand, $3, $3 million, 300,000. Here's how it really is supposed to operate. The first dollar goes to what you have to pay, right? Whatever it is, right? Your bills, your whatever the case is. The second dollar, and this is important, goes to invest. Now, invest may be some form of a education or buying Apple, which is 30% off right now. You know it's never going to go away, so you make 30% of your money in another year if it just goes back, or whatever the case is. And then number 3 is you spend on what you would like to have but don't have to have, and if you don't buy the whole thing, you put that back in number 2. Sooner or later, 2 starts filling into 1 and 3. But what really happens as Americans, we work really hard. So what do we want to do when we get our money? We want to treat ourselves. We put number 3 first.
Okay.
We go and buy things to treat ourselves. All right. We never get to number 2, and then 1 starts running late, or we're short on that. So then we take loans at 18% and borrow money, and that corrodes the whole number 1. And then you turn around and say, why don't I have enough money? Because you didn't make these small adjustments. And I get it, because I almost went bankrupt twice when I had no money, and bankrupt once when I had $10 million in the bank. So it's nobody's fault here when they're saying, man, I don't know about money. We were never taught money.
Okay.
And that's what you could teach. I can tell you exactly what I do with my daughter to teach her about that.
Yeah.
But I'll give you one thing that people could take away right now. It's not even in the book. So my godson, when I buy him gifts, you know what I do? Buy him Christmas and maybe whatever, right, his birthday. He likes trucks, so I buy him a little Tonka type of truck. But I buy him simultaneously 1 share in Caterpillar. And I take a picture with him in the truck and the Caterpillar share. Now, if I just got him the Caterpillar share, he's 7 years old, he look at it like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
10 years in, you know what happens? You have 20, 30 shares of companies. You have 20, 30 toys and pictures. You say, how much are the toys worth? I don't know. I got rid of half of them. They're not worth anything. How much are the shares worth? $10,000? And so that you start to, it's the process the kids start to learn. And we need to teach that and teach the parents together. And they learn together with a simple thing. I hate to say it, there's no book out there like this at all, and I'm shocked. It's Little Daymond Learns to Earn.
There you go. And we got him right. We got Little Daymond with us right now.
Little Daymond right here. You know.
How long did it take you, Daymond, to do the book from beginning to end? Like, was this years in the making, or?
It was, because first of all, I think it was 30 years in the making. My 2 oldest daughters are great girls. They don't have as much financial intelligence as I would like for them to have. And I was teaching them something, but I was teaching them it the wrong way. I used to say, hey, you want a car? You go out, you make money, I'll match it. I thought that was financial intelligence. No, I was teaching them a good work ethic. But I wasn't teaching them financial intelligence. And if you look at it, and we know from The Power of Broke that 65% of lotto winners and athletes are bankrupt 3 years after leaving the league or winning the lotto. So I've been working on it all those years, and then I started to speak to educators, and our educators were saying, I don't know what good debt, bad debt is. I don't know. I don't have financial intelligence, because those amazing educators of ours, they know everything about science. They know everything about history. They know everything about a lot of specific subjects, but they just don't have financial intelligence. And it's not like our system. This is not a setup. Our system, when you go to college, they have finance classes, but they're not teaching us young enough. So you think about it. I always say these great men and women who serve our country and they go into the Navy, do you put them on a boat, take them out and send them out to war, and don't teach them how to swim until they're in the middle of the ocean fighting a war? You prepare them, right? You prepare everybody. So why are you not preparing a child and then giving them finance after they already have the debt?
Because they want you to get into that debt.
Right.
They want you to
by the
pay
way,
that
money
debt.
in debt.
All those colleges have CFOs. All those, and I'm not saying, listen, if they're going to take credit from people for cars or whatever the case is, you want to be in debt, then take it for an education, please. You know what I mean?
I know 400
Crazy.
grand.
That is such a good point for when you get into see these classes when you're in like college, because it seems so advanced and intimidating, which is why a lot of people end up not taking it. I appreciate you mentioning that. We've all heard when folks say, oh, money is the root of all evil, and then often a reply is money just enhances who you already are, And so somebody who's...
Yeah, I mean, you don't think Kevin O'Leary was going to be a bad guy if he was broke?
He would still been. Don't do that to Kev, man. He's been on the show, man. Come on, man.
That was too easy.
You always take shots at Kev.
Well, he takes shots at me too. Damon's has been a nice guy ever since he came home from jail. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So,
oh my goodness, the shots is fired. But that quote came to mind, David, when you were saying like one of the suggestions for the little kid is, you could use your money for philanthropic efforts. Like, how much does not only teaching a child financial intelligence go with also teaching them emotional intelligence so that they can be braided and you have a good person who wants to do good things with their money? Because a lot of people just want to use their money on themselves.
Yeah, so I think that we cover that in the book in a sense, and I'll tell you why. Because Little Daymond, who wants to make some money to buy something, he doesn't have enough, and he opens a business, and it fails. And then he finds out, his mother says, well, to buy, to get the business to work, what do you need to do? Shout out to Little Daymond right there.
Little Daymond is dope.
Little Daymond finds out he needs his friend, because he goes, you can sing, you can dance, you can draw, you can do this and that. And then they open up the business, they get the business going, and they make money. Now, what happens when they make the money? Just Little Daymond doesn't make the money. The one who can play a harmonica, well, she makes enough money to go home and buy a trumpet. The one who can do this, and you realize that, first of all, it's a team sport.
Yes.
Second of all, you always need to respect others who are working with you and be as much value with them. And so everybody's your customer. And at the end of the day, you want to give. And it teaches you to work in that system and appreciate everybody for their individuality. If I pay my employee, that's not my business what they go and use their money for. It is their will and their wish, and that's why we're in a country that allows you to have that freedom.
Yes.
Right. So yes, and I do teach that in other forms, but this is going to be my life legacy. Not this book, this mission.
Okay.
So here's my mission right now. I want my little girls, when I'm in the dirt, I want them to say, My father sparked the conversation in the country, and he did so well with getting kids and parents to connect on financial intelligence that other celebrities, other large organizations, everybody else, they started saying, why is the New York school system doing so much better and the kids are not in as much debt? What are you doing in Atlanta? What are you doing in Missouri? And I want, by the time I leave this planet, right, I want them to say the narrative was changed because this young man who's dyslexic, who didn't go to college, who got left back, who didn't know anybody, he changed the system that was broken, and it became, I don't care if it became it became a trend, whatever it is, but America has voted. This is the #1 book in the country because America said this is needed, and I want other people to compete with me, join me,
man.
let me highlight them. I don't care what it is. You know what I mean?
This is the
Is
mission.
Little Daymond going to be for sale one day?
Huh?
Is Little Daymond
Little
going to be?
Daymond might be for sale. You know, but Little Daymond's been hanging out. Everybody's been, I've been putting him in crazy places, and I've been doing this voiceover of, oh, when I'm successful, this is what I think I'm going to be. And it may be in front of a hot chocolate machine. You know what I mean? Because our kids, listen, when our kids take this information and start processing it, so imagine you say to your kids, you know how you say to kids when they lie, remember what happened to the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
Right? You have an easy reference. So when kids want something, you go, well, what did Little Daymond and his crew do?
That's smart.
That's
All right.
a good Christmas gift. I like Little
Jorel
Daymond.
is on the line from Arizona. Go ahead, Jorel.
Hey,
I love that name, Jarrell.
Yeah.
Superman's pops. I love that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, hi. How you doing? I'm a long-time listener.
That's what's
Thank
up.
you,
What's
sir.
happening?
You got a question for Daymond?
Yeah, I have a question for Daymond. So I'm here in Arizona, and me and my business partner actually entrepreneurs ourselves into financial, and we're actually trying to help families with learning how to be change from the employee mindset to entrepreneurs. That people today are just so wrapped up in clocking in and clocking out, and saving money and then spending the money, not knowing how to invest their money. So here in our company and my business, we're teaching people how to invest their money into insurance places where you can build your money without having to put it into stocks, putting it into places where the money starts to go with the economy itself right now. I was starting to...
Jorel, what's your question?
Yep.
Oh, so my question is, as an entrepreneur, how can you create leads and create to where... I'm sorry, I'm
You nervous?
Take your time, bro.
Deep breath.
Okay, he just hung up. He just imploded. Damon.
He walked off the plane.
He left?
He left.
It was good talking to you.
What you going to say to him?
Huh?
Yeah, he left. He imploded. He hung up. Michelle, give me a
All
quick
right, love you
question.
long time.
Who's
next?
Just the question, Michelle.
I was going there already. I was having it in my mind. I was eating the tuna fish sandwich.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Michelle.
How do you still circle, I guess, education back into financial literacy, especially dealing with teenagers who have access to everything at their fingertips? My 16-year-old has now made the conscious decision that school doesn't teach him anything. And it's kind of my fault. I've kind of pumped financial literacy into him at a young age, and kind of what you were saying, how, don't go out and get all this school debt and just be stuck working a dead-end job paying off debt. He's into crypto. He just started his own LLC, and he's teaching himself what he wants to know about business, but he's 16 and in high school, and now he's saying, school doesn't teach you nothing, Mom.
Okay.
So
he doesn't want to do any other thing
besides make money.
He don't want to learn about history, English,
Right.
social studies, that sort of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're asking me how? I'm not clear on.
So what's your question, Shell?
So the question is, okay, we want to be financial literate. We want our kids to be, have this financial literacy. But how do we tie that in still with modern?
A more well-rounded education
Yes.
other than just financial literacy, without discouraging them to want to pursue financial literacy.
Well, I listen. Bottom line is, I wish that morals and all these other things are our job. It's not the government's job. It's nobody. Not even the teacher's job. We have our own kids. We decide to have them one way or another. The government and you know what? They got a lot of other stuff to do out there. They got a lot of people they got to answer to. So I don't necessarily know how you can teach all those other things. There's a lot of really brilliant educators who have dedicated their life to this. But I just don't know your situation. But to start off with the fundamentals of finance, that is really, that's one of the most important things besides nutrition and maybe faith, and things of that nature, and be a good moral standing person. I mean, I don't want to tell you who I was at 16 years old. I mean, the young man is growing, and I think like any of our children, they're aliens from like 13 to 20. They're trying to figure themselves out. They got a lot of estrogen, testosterone, a lot of imaging coming towards them. So I can't really answer those, but if he has good financial intelligence, at least he won't be maybe taking an even worse path because of the temptations of the streets, the lack of knowledge on how to, make money. So that's all I can say. I don't have answers.
That's all. No, that was beautiful, man. And that was a great answer. You gave an answer, man.
Yeah.
You did good, man. Daymond John,
All
thank
right.
you, man. I want to thank you for coming by. Y'all
Thank
follow
you.
him at the Shark Daymond.
That's
and
right.
get the book. Get the book, Little Daymond Learns to Earn. And it's a great gift for, Christmas not here, but it's a great spring.
It is a gift for
Put it in
everybody.
the Easter basket.
And it has about, I think, Sway, I may be able to do this audiobook without you. I think it has 30 words. It'll take me an hour to read them. I'm dyslexic, but I think I can do this one without you.
Send the novels to me.
I'm going to just have you be the hype man in the back.
I got you,
know what
man.
I mean?
Little Daymond needs a homie.
There you
You
go.
go. All right, cool.
Oh, that's
right.
the next book.
Little
That's
Sway
right.
and Little Daymond. All
How
right.
to treat your business partner.
Hey,
That's right.
Hey, Daymond, love you, brother.
Thank you, man.
Continue
Love
success,
you all.
brother.
Love
All
you
right.
all, my citizens. Thank you.
All right.